I'm about 60 miles into my trip to Alliance, and sun just came up so I could start recording. But I decided to stop and stretch my legs and make sure that the tie downs are still tied down. But I'm being forced out of Gillette because of sonority, so I have to try Alliance. And so far so good here. Yeah, that stitching is dry rotted around the window. I have to re-sew that, or I'm just going to get a new top one of these days, because you can tell how it's, the vinyl's starting to crack on it. But the tie downs are still holding. That's good. Got my CB antenna. There's my satellite dish that's hooked, or satellite antenna that's just hooked on by duct tape. Really redundant because for how noisy this thing is. You really can't hear the radio all that well, even with earbuds in. So only got about another 170 miles to go. But all in all, not looking too bad. I still have a drip right there on my front pumpkin. I don't know if that's because of the latest oil change and oil is still working its way out of all the nooks and crannies. But other than that, it's good to go. So let's hop in and let's go down the road and get there. We ain't gonna get there if we don't get going. Okay, let's get this beast going. Yeah, it's the old CB right there. There's all the mess I got. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. Be like this for the next 60 miles. Not a thing in sight. South Dakota border, and so far this trip has been pretty fun. You know, I could have used my new pickup I got, and bought a and rented out a U-Haul. But what fun is that? Here I got a 5-ton military vehicle, 855 cubic inches, 14.7 liters I think it is, or maybe even be 15 liters. Smell diesel fuel, can't go better than this. This is what America is all about. Having the horsepower, having the power. God, I love this country. Now, a lot of people who worked out of Alliance, and you know, they always have some bad things to say about Alliance. But here's what I have to say about it. I've never been there to work out of there for the railroad. But you know, it's what you make out of it. There's two good things about Alliance. One, it's in Nebraska. And two, Nebraska is in the United States of America. So how bad can it be? I always work on the philosophy, home is where you hang your hat. So, of course I do like this part of the country though. I like all this open space and stuff. And Alliance is not known for its fine cuisine, or its shopping, or its malls, or any other stuff you get in those, you know, the big metropolitan cities. But this is the heartland out here. And I was thinking about making this this 5-ton my official campaign touring vehicle. You see all these other presidential campaigns tour around in all these big elaborate buses, or they have they charter out all these aircraft that cost their contributors, or all the people who donate money to their campaign. All that money is getting soaked up in their travel and their luxury. Well, this is all the luxury I need right here. My 5-ton, all I gotta do is put a lazy boy recliner in the back, put a cot back there. I'm in heaven. South Dakota. This is where I bought this truck in South Dakota, down in Mission. Right now we're heading towards Edgemont. According to TomTom, I gotta make a left-hand turn at 9.9 miles away. Never drove past Edgemont before. So we'll see what's in store for me down there. But South Dakota is a pretty state. I like South Dakota. Especially the Black Hills area. Yeah, we're still doing good. The truck speedometer shows 65, but according to Mr. TomTom, I'm usually going at about 60, and I trust Mr. TomTom more than I do the gauges that are in these trucks. Now, the only thing they're good for is that it shows that you're actually moving. But it only is affected at 60 or above. When I'm doing 40, Mr. TomTom says I'm doing 40. the Nebraska border. That'll be a mile. I'll catch up to you when I hit the Nebraska border. That'll be a milestone because this truck's never been in the state of Nebraska yet. I don't think I had it up to Montana. I want to take it up to Montana one of these days. Just because I like driving them. These are a fun truck to drive. As long as you got your tools with you, if anything breaks down, then you have an opportunity to fix it. But they're a pretty simple truck. There's nothing really complicated about them. They're built like a rector set. Everything is bolted on. Take the fenders off by unbolting the fenders. There's nothing welded at all. So, I'll catch you up in Nebraska. This is Wyoming, or not Wyoming, South Dakota 471 South. It was a nice, well, it was a real narrow 2-lane road. Then all of a sudden it turned into this. So I got another, apparently 6 miles of South Dakota 471 to travel on. That's a good thing. I did not take the U-Haul today. I didn't know I would have to cross country some of the trackless road here. But the old 5-ton, she'll be able to pull through this. But it's still pretty country out here though. My estimated time of arrival in Alliance is 11 o'clock. And I hope I can make it by, I have to be there by 1. Have to meet the cable guy. The Emperor between 1 and 2. But it, you know, like I say, another 5 miles of this road, I should hit pavement. Hopefully sooner. Because I got that big hole in the back of that tarp that you see with that window. And I don't want all that dust blowing in back there. Here's Nebraska. Got off that dirt road about 5 miles ago. Went through an old town that was pretty interesting. There was like about, I'd say 8 or 9 old farmhouses, all abandoned except for one. I wish I had the camera on going through there. I was just in awe going through there. Didn't even think about turning the camera on. But yeah, these United States. You know, and another thing too that I want to touch up on is our federal government. You know, driving through the Midwest out here in the open prairie land, you see all the government intrusion onto these states, and that's not the role of our federal government. You know, our government is designed to where it does foreign policies. Let the states handle the states. This is my little bit of a political speech. But that's the problem that we're having in this country, is that the federal government's just too overbearing right now. And needs to back off, focus on foreign policy, focus on those kind of issues, and let the states run the states. But it just can't help itself. It has to meddle in everybody else's business. But I got 83 miles to go to Lyons, so I'll catch up to you when I get into Lyons. Interesting. For Nebraska. We're 50 miles from Alliance. Truck's doing great. My butt's a little sore, but we'll make it. See it in the camera, but there's a coal train over there. I would try to zoom in and look, but I'm not going to drive through my viewfinder, you know what I mean? good clip. Came in off the grade. The only time those things ever gain speed is going downhill. Going uphill, you can get off the train, stretch your legs, run alongside of it, and jump back on again. Across to one of the major shipping grain elevators. I had a nephew who during the summer was working on those harvesting crews that they had. They go through all the fields down here. No doubt he probably delivered to this grain elevator here.